Yo, what up, street togs, street gods, street vlogs? Eric Kim in the house. All right, some thoughts for us. I actually have a funny thought. Is maybe the best way we could think about cars is that essentially a car is just kind of a space in which we could experiment with like an ideation chamber or sphere or thing for a turbo thingy. So currently stuck in traffic, trying to pick up some family members from the cruise terminal. It's actually funny because I actually really love cruises. We did me and Cindy like a year ago with Sen. We did we're Sen. 7-day panorama cruise to Mexico, and it was actually really cool. It's just Google Air Kim cruise philosophy or cruise as pseudo utopias. I wrote some interesting thoughts on it. Everyone should do it at least once or twice. Yet it looks like one of the major downsides of going on a cruise, man, it's dropping off. It's like I was literally saw the peoples waiting for the pickup. They were literally drop off. And there was also a music festival at Long Beach, right? The cruise terminal. Dude, it was the worst cluster F I've seen in my life. Like literally, it looked like the traffic and time to even just drop off passengers was at least 5 hours. Like, I shit you not. And then once you get there, you gotta wait in another line to even enter the terminal authority thing, right? And then on top of that, once you enter the actual terminal building and go past security, right? There's another line to go on this cruise ship. And then finally, when you're on the cruise ship, you had to wait for all the festivities, things, and you go to the mediocre buffet to alleviate your whatevers, and nothing's even open anyways. And you gotta wait. So if you're gonna go on cruise, anticipate that at least the first 2 days will just be pure pain and hell and waiting. Like, I don't like waiting in line for anything. So the turbo thought is, this is my thought. Even if the cruise is the world's best experience in the world, the pain associated with having to board and even unboarding, like even me, right? Like stuck in traffic to just pick up. Even picking up, it's gonna take me another hour to stop and go, right? Maybe if I had a Tesla, just and then just could smart summon, I could just vlog and blog while I'm stuck in traffic. So actually, I think that's actually the time to go all in Tesla. Elon is the future. It's so funny. Anyone who's really anti-Elon Musk, right? It's like, like Nietzsche vibes, right? It's just like, I hate him because I am no match for him. ... Has anyone ever said this? So actually, I think that's the reason why people. It's funny. Anyone who's really an Elon Musk hater is actually a lover in disguise. I'm like. It's like, you only hate Elon Musk because A, you're confused by him, B, he's more epic than you, C, you're no match for him, or D, his greatness makes you feel small, is my thought. And then it's like richest, like Elon doesn't care that he's the world's richest, like nobody cares that the world's richest man, right? Elon only became the world's richest man in the world because the grandeur of his ambition is so like a quadrillion times more than any other human being on planet Earth, right? Like SpaceX, taking men to the Mars, right? That alone is worth like 100 men. There's like Tesla, global electric car revolution, right? And then the brain injection, mind control thingy, right? Then the Boring Company, right? So then like it looks like Elon Musk's approach is that like he's so insanely curious about these kind of to birth these creative ideas and entrepreneurial ventures because he really wants to see it manifest in the world. I find that insanely noble. You know, it's funny because like birthing companies or birthing artistic projects or entrepreneurial things, it's almost like birthing children. And then also, I think Elon Musk actually has a lot of kids too. It's funny for like a nerd. I mean, Elon Musk nerd, right? Kind of like. I mean, he admits it, but it's funny. Whenever someone call you Asperger's or like on the spectrum or slightly autistic, right? It's like. It's funny because there's also talk about like neurodiversity, blah blahs, right? Like everyone's different, right? And it's like whenever someone says you have Asperger's or on the spectrum, whatever, it's just because like he's not just like a basic human being, right? Is my thought. I mean, certainly there are some people with like severe, like individuals with severe autism, where you could actually see it affecting their morphology or their face or just how people look. I mean, that's a different case. But yeah, I almost think it's like a mutant superpower, right? Like, if you want to become more epic, you have to disdain other things. Like, even people who are quote bipolar, right? It's just like people who aren't sheeple, they call them bipolar, right? Anyways, so taking it back to the point, some thoughts I have. Oh, and also if you're curious, just have the car mount, just selfie mode. Another big thought I have about vlogging too, it really looks like the smallest size and resolution blah blahs is the optimal solution, because even if you have the newest iPhone Pros Max Pros, iPad Pros Max, M5 M10 chip, right? The time to process the video and then upload it still takes a really long time. So smaller file sizes and times to upload and process seems to be the way. So this is what, 720p 30 fps selfie mode. And I think ultimately what's most important is just the thoughts, and then your thoughts aren't interrupted. So a turbo thought I had about money is I think oftentimes when it comes to money, the way that people think about it is, I want to make a bunch of money or increase my income or salary or whatevs, right? In order to, buy a house, upgrade my house, renovate, remodel, or buy XYZ car or XYZ things or tools, blah, blahs, right? But my thought is, the best way to use money, and this is Eric Kim speaking, 3 Lambos in the bank, 3 Richard Millies in the bank, Richard Mill on the leather band, Pusha T, right? I'm like, new direction for Eric Kim. It's like, Can I become the first really cool Asian rapper? Without tattoos, without a face tattoo, without taking drugs. Like, I'm 35. I was born in '88. It's funny because the other day I met a guy at the gym who actually looked older than me, also Korean. I'm like, how old are you? He's like 28. I'm like, man, he looked older than me. I'm like, oh, I'm 34. I actually said I'm 34 because I lost count. He's like, oh, bro, you look like you're 28. It must be all the heavy lifting, right? Was it, it's actually funny, yeah, like, everyone hates being stuck in traffic. It's like, maybe when you're stuck in traffic, using the opportunity to vlog, obviously quote safely, might be a good idea. Enjoying this time with you. Oh, so anyways, my thought is maybe the best use of money is to use that money to reinvest into things you're curious about, right? So for example, like the house and sense spelling food. I'm like, like some of my friends have the Dyson electric cordless vacuum, and I'm like, is this thing worth it, right? And then Cindy actually got it a refurbished Dyson on the Dyson website or whatever, right? So what, 350, 400, something like that, right? I was just curious. I'm like, will this actually make my life way easier and better, whatever, right? And then we bought it, right? And it totally did. Like, the Dyson cordless vacuum is the freaking most beautiful. Like, I like it like 100 times. Like, I like it a billion times more than my iPhone, my iPad, my laptop, my car, whatevs. The only thing I don't like it more than is probably the new Texas power squat bar that I bought, 55 pounder, the black zinc oxide with the chrome sleeves, for what, 500, 550, shipping included. Don't get the Rogue stuff. I mean, my negative bias against Rogue is there's no real visionary at the board of Rogue, and then Rogue is mostly like, it started off as a CrossFit company, and I'm like I think CrossFit is, I mean, I think for some individuals who are just kind of like lonely and they want a community, I think CrossFit is amazing. And also a lot of their mobility exercise is great, but I think the overall just an approach of CrossFit, it is not for elite fitness, I don't think. I've never actually met a CrossFitter in real life that actually looked really physically amazing. Like, all the dudes tend to be like, all the dudes still look pretty like skinny and weak, anemic looking, right? And then the women in CrossFit that I see, at least the coaches or whatever, they're like kind of like very muscular and strong. They're actually more impressive than the men. But then body fat percentage being a little bit on the higher side. Yeah, maybe CrossFit is better for women than men. I was like, but I mean, once again, like, ultimately with any sort of fitness, if you like it, yo, do it. Just do it. My only bias is that, like, people who don't know any better, who end up doing CrossFit and injuring themselves, I'm like, just think for yourself. I mean, like, I would actually pay money to not do a CrossFit class. Like, just like, what do I want? Some kind of like, it's funny. It's like, where's some CrossFit coaches? Like, whenever I see guys who are CrossFit coaches, right? Dude with either some facial hair, like, I'm gonna put these guys in category, right? Either has some like facial hair, man bun, wears a trucker hat, long hair or bushy hair. I'm like, kind of muscular, but still kind of looks more on the anemic, skinny, weak side. And then it's like, tell me what to do with proper form. And then actually my bias against the notion of proper form is, essentially what proper form is, it's people are trying to become, trying to get a power trip from feeling like they are the pinnacle of proper form tyrants. And so whenever people say this is proper form, it ain't proper form. Like, there's no such thing as proper form. There's ways and techniques and approaches to do things to increase your leverages, to pull heavier weights, right? So the Air Kim approach, Atlas lift, rack pulls, just Google it. I've done Atlas lift, 940 pounds, that's what? 9 plates. Plate is a 45-pound plate, a 35 clip. And then my new Air Kim clip, made with a paracord type 3, I think, and then just like a rock climbing carabiner, Air Kim Innovations. If you're interested in getting one, just shoot me an email, eric@airkim.com. I'll hook it up. And then we ran out of space on the barbell. I'm like, am I the first person to ever run out of space on the barbell? Clip on the thing that I made and then add another 2.5er on the side of the Texas squat bar. And then fucking lifted that like a fucking monster. Actually, it's funny because you actually know you're really, really strong when, the buffest guy at the gym, who might look like he's on roids, comes up to me and is like, whoa, that was a great lift, and then gives you a fist bump, right? It's like, yeah, vindicated, right? Or when you overhear other dudes who actually look pretty buff, like bodybuilder type looking dudes, right? Talking to other homeboys and be like, over here and talk. I think they're actually talking, like, what are we gonna call that? Shadow talking? Like, talking about me in disguise, like, all the way in the corner. He's like, yeah, apparently powerlifting me in the back, and all these guys on the juice today. It's like, apparently there's some guys who are on steroids who don't look like they're on steroids. Talking about me because I mean, I'm insanely demigod, muscular, great physique look, right? But I don't look like I'm on quote steroids because, I'm not. Some telltale signs, if somebody's on the juice or the gear or not, right? If they're bald or balding, apparently, like, I'm not 100% sure, but apparently when you're like taking steroids or testosterone, something to do with hair loss, I think. I mean, I'm not 100% sure, right? But like, too much testosterone. So when people's kind of balding, and they're really insanely muscular, they might be on the juice, right? That's why you see a lot of, this is kind of a prototype that I see, maybe also in CrossFit too. Super jacked dude who looks a little bit older with a huge beard but no hair on top. Typically a sign that they're taking some sort of steroid juice. Also, if people are really, really red, apparently it's like the body's overheating or something. So that's another telltale sign. Another one is like, when people's muscles are too circular and too like, it look like there's like some plastic injections, is also often a telltale sign that somebody's on the juice. And also, like, ultimately, if you just kind of look at it, it doesn't look natural. It probably isn't. But even ultimately, whether people are taking steroids or not, it don't matter. It's like sometimes dudes feel so indignant because they look at these dudes and they're just like, this guy cheating, he's on juice. Essentially what they're saying is that I feel so bad about my physique and I see other dudes who are more jacked than me and I get upset about that and indignant because I wish I looked like that, but then, I'm not cheating. Like, anyone who says anything about cheating, it's like, get out of here. It's like nonsense, right? No such thing as cheating in the real world. Just do better leverages. But anyways, yeah, so I did 940, lifted it like a beast. No wrist reps, no belt, no knee strap. Anyone who uses any of that paraphernalia or nonsense, they're essentially signaling that they are afraid of hurting themselves, and it's a sign of cowardice. Or my rack pull, what? Current record is what? Current PR, personal record, is 8 plates, 2 10s. And then I tried 8 plates, 2 10s, and a 2.5er, and then I couldn't really budget. Also, it's like another turbo thought I had too, right? Is what is the best time of the day to go to the gym to lift weights? Ideally, actually, like afternoon, late afternoon, evening, because I think if you actually Google what sleep wake cycle, I think actually our physical powers peak at around 6 p.m.-ish. I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I just find superficially in the mornings, I'm just like still booting up, even though I've taken 12 shots of espresso. And also I kind of like weightlifting in the evening because you have more of a crowd and you can put on more of a show. And whether, I mean, I don't like to admit it, right? But I guess I'm kind of a show off, peacock, BSD, the big swinging, dingling. I like being the center of attention, extrovert. I think my personality test, ESFJ, I think is what I was categorized as. Cindy got me into it. It's like, why do people hate me so much or dislike me or so confused about me? It's like, what, am I the first Asian American guy you've seen with like insane amounts of self-confidence, who's so insanely confident in himself? He rolls up his shirt, shows off his midsection, rolls up the shorts, quadruple, triple short shorts, shows off his nips, right? Right? Maybe. And actually, I think the reason why people are so confused by me is that I don't look like I'm on steroids. Obviously, I don't look like I'm on steroids. I think people are more confused by the fact that like I have the insane courage and audacity to even attempt something that's never been witnessed before. Like any gym goer, right? Like, have you ever seen over 9 plates, I think it gets really silly when it gets over. Okay, so plates as an analogy. When it's over 9 plates, it's 9 plates and a 35 and a 2.5er, which signals to the other person, especially when they see the 2.5er, clipped on the side. It's a signal for at least powerlifters or weightlifters who know what's up. He's already probably done the 9 plates and the 35 before, and as a consequence, to just increase the weight just a little bit, then he's adding on the 2.5er. So that's kind of the ultimate flex behind things. Also, another pro tip: if you live in SoCal, Southern California, don't tint your car. Drive topless, so you can get a nice tan. Especially when you're stuck in traffic. Yeah, I think moving forward, maybe like I'm just gonna start vlogging on just the iPhone because you could just, in terms of the workflow, this is our new sign for workflow, workflow. Wow, I can see I've been recording this for 21 minutes, and I think I've moved like 2 cars. This might take a little bit longer than expected. Maybe I'll just buy the iPhone Pro. Next time I just need to bring my iPhone phone charger thingy because gonna run out of batteries probably. Anyways, and sooner or later I'll probably need to take a piss. What else? Okay. Well, I still have a GoPro Mini. I can vlog on that later, right? When I'm still stuck in traffic. Oh yeah. So actually, the funny thing is, from a media productivity thing, right, to streamline the shipping process, just like shoot it on iPhone or iPad Pro, whatever's, and then just like directly upload to the YouTubies or your own blog or Spotify, podcast, whatever's, to quickly get out there. Because actually my passion I found is that, like, rather than quality, it's better to just quickly do the thing and then just get it out there as quickly as possible without worrying about things. But anyways, so people's confused by me. Or Kim is the beast. It's a monster. Better to be a gay monster than a sentimental bore. Fernando Galliani, as quoted by Nietzsche. Or becoming a gay monster, gay being happy, jovial. Better to be a happy monster than a sentimental bore. Be the happy monster. Some other thoughts I had while driving. Driving without podcast, music, whatever. A, it's just safer, but B, it's also beneficial to us because we could do more creative ideation, coming up with creative ideas. So even half the time when I'm driving, I say, hey Siri, take a note, blah, 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 blahs. And so that's how I could record my thoughts. Maybe the best approach to in life, just interacting with other people, is like always be super duper nice to everybody, even if you get snubbed. And if they're still mean to you or they rub you the wrong way, maybe it's good to be aggressive nice, aggressive friendly, aggressively kind, even if there's a bunch of a-holes. Fuck it. It's my new motto to life. Just when in doubt, just be like, fuck it. Just go for it. Also, it's important to listen to your body. So yesterday I was gonna go for a new PR, the Atlas lift. I did the 9 plates and then I was like, added some more weight to it. Add another 35. I was gonna clip on the 5er. I'm like, I ain't feeling it. I'm like, peace, I'm outie. So also, this is a tricky thing too. Like, something I haven't really figured out the answer to is, often when we do things, right, how much of it is we're trying to put on a show for other people versus we do it for ourselves? Obviously it's a little bit of both. So for example, something I discovered about the gym, in praise of going to the gym, instead of just building a house gym. Interesting. So some of the only things I've watched on Netflix in the past, which I actually found beneficial, are like weightlifting and bodybuilding documentaries. So I watched the one on Ronnie Coleman, which I love. I recommend everyone to watch it. Is that he built the world's most extensive home gym with all the equipment, but he still prefers going to his dank ass random gym that he did. Because actually I think we humans, we like to be in social spaces, and it's not really weightlifting or one rep maxing that we like. I think it's around being around other human beings in a novel environment, being in some sort of coliseum and arena. The punishment of modernity and modern day life is that we're just perpetually stuck at home, especially now with the whole work from home, Zoom tech thing, right? I think that's a terrible punishment, to be forced to be at home the whole time. Like, there are lots of benefits going to the office. Maybe the nuance should be like, if I ran Google or Apple or whatever's, right, I would just say you have the options, like, come to the office when you want, don't come to the office when you don't. Employees be more productive, happier today, give them more powers. Yeah, maybe my next step in life is I just want to become big shot CEO, just let people to do whatever they want. Air Kim status. Also, I think right now is a good time to like re-disrupt the world of like photography, because what? There's no more I mean, arsbeta.com was my first attempt, and I think it's great, but maybe it's time for Ars Alpha or something. The big issue is it's like, where's the last, like, there's nowhere to share your photos anymore, right? Like, we used to have Flickr, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, like, no more spaces. So or maybe the platform will just be airkim.com. It's like, yo, you upload to Eric yet? Or just maybe just what's called Eric, or yeah, ERIC, the Eric app. Yeah, seems like a good idea. Also anti-Zen. So yeah, maybe actually in life we should. Okay, I might be the first person to think about, like, Seneca, the OG Stoic philosopher, not my son. He wrote a whole book, De Ira, on anger, how to deal with anger. Eminem had an interesting interview I listened to. He said, like, I think I'm actually happier when I'm angry. And actually, I found that when I'm angry, I actually get more power and respect, even though I don't like the physiological sensation. But maybe is that because I'm too weak to handle the anger, or is it anger in itself is not manly or virtuous? So some thoughts. You get angry at your wife, whatever's. The best way to respond is just the moral of the story is, don't respond or say something petty for 24 hours, because if you often sleep on it 24 hours later, you actually find out that you were the asshole, not the other person, right? A lot of conflicts, like, I think this is my simple heuristic. If something happens to you, don't make a judgment on it for at least 24 hours or 48 hours or 72 hours. We'll do a 72-hour rule. Just wait 72 hours 3 days before responding. If 3 days later, or a week later, a month later, you still think about it, then you are the one in the wrong versus the other person wrong. And ultimately, it doesn't matter who's in the right or wrong. Like, it's just more like who has the power, right? Yeah, this is where money is useful. Is like, he who spends the most money on X, Y, and Z has the power. Like for example, now that I've bought the Texas Power Bar for the gym, and I use it. I can fuck it up however much I want, like load up as much weight to it, and I don't feel bad, because if I'm just using the gym bar, I'm like low key, like, this is a $20 bar made in China. I might snap it, or I'm kind of scared, or whatever's with the staff members yell at me or say something, or I just put my t-shirt on it to just signal that I'm using this. I'm like, this belongs to me, so I can do wherever I want. And I guess that's the upside of like house ownership or home ownership, or I don't know, like, is condo, like, I mean, I guess the reason why I'm anti-condo is that, like, I like the HOA notion that you're kind of a communal thing. But ultimately, if you cannot change if you cannot even paint your door handle without having to get written permission from the condo association, it seems like a scam. So, rule 1, looks like condos are a scam. Rule 2, if you really, really care to just like do whatever ever with your property that you want, maybe buying a standalone house is a good idea, because at least you could just do whatever you want to your house, front yard, backyard that you want. But still, the issue or the downside of buying a house or owning a home, even if it's a single family home, whatever, is that like, let's say the house is like $1.3 million or whatever. Let's say you paid it all in cash, you paid it off, whatever. dude, it's crazy. Like property taxes could still be like $1,500 a month, $2,000 a month, house insurance, all this other like, let's say it's 3,000. So it's like you done paid off the house in full, $1.5 million house, right? And you're still paying $2,500, $3,000 a month in just like bullshit fees for the rest of your life. I'm like, that's almost equivalent to just paying rent somewhere, and you don't have to be stuck with it, right? So I think my interim thought is, the least bad thing to do is rent one of these new expensive luxury condo high rises that have maximum floor to ceiling windows, nice appliances, because even though upfront the price seems expensive, if you want to piece out after there, you could piece out, and there's not going to be no hidden aha thing. Like for example, your water heater goes out, boom, that's like 15 G's, right? Or your roof needs to be fixed, boom, 50 G's, right? Or like, you know, your toilet plumbing is fucked up, right? Deal with the stress of calling the people. So if you're able to rent some sort of place that there's like 24-hour maintenance on staff, that actually seems like the optimal goal. Man, this is crazy. This traffic, even to pick up somebody's finna be stuck in traffic for another 3 hours to be picked up. And I feel bad for the people who's waiting to be picked up, because they're just probably tired AF, right? And just want to go back home. What else? I have a business thought, right? It's like, if you could pay money, spend $200 to skip all the lines, and it'd be like a private lane to pick up people's, pay $200, $300, $400, $500. I think people will totally pay for it. And I think this is where the whole toll booth, fast track lanes is kind of a good idea. If I was stuck in this traffic, I would pay like $500 to not be stuck in this bullshit. Even buying a new HOV lane sticker to deal with the traffics, or like a self-driving Tesla to take you to work, and you could just do other shit. I think it's totally worth it. Fortunately, I don't have a Coco real job, so I could just do whatever I pleases without dealing with the stresses. Yeah, this is not good. But yeah, ultimately use money as a tool for unintelligent or foolish or unwise experimentation seems to be the good idea.